Got it. Done and got it. All righty, y'all. Peace and greetings to you all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghazi Obey here in Morocco at Northwest of Mexico. How are you? Guys, welcome to our 7-day tropical medical astro weather report for 30th November to the 6th December 2023. So we're going to look at the next 7 days in advance, and I'm here with my magnificent and beloved brothers in whom I am well pleased, and they are.
Salam, people. I am Terrell Tamari Bay. That is I. How are you?
Sauce.
Salam.
It's Islam.
Islam. Peace and love, peoples. Brother Shanalim L. Behalf with half of the Astro Pups. All is well. And Brother Jad, bro, what was that other appellation the bros gave me? What was that, bro?
I don't know.
You don't know? What you mean you don't know? Pray for.
Y'all are hilarious. That's always fun, man. All right, so guys, we're about to knock this thing one out. You know, we're not going to belabor this thing. I'm going to instantly just go and share the calendar. You guys that are familiar with us, you know what time it is. All right, time never was when man was not. That's what it is. Here we go. Now, I'd like to welcome you all to our 7 Hill Star Astro calendar for March Aries 2023 to February Pisces 2024. Time never was when man was not. Quoting El Hajj Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali doing religious corporate activity via affidavit, being prophet, noble, Drew, Ali. Gratitude indeed. Peace be unto you guys. We're getting into the calendar where we had the water, where the sun's transiting the water sign, right? Scorpio, the scorpion, anciently ruled by Mars, contemporarily co-ruling with Mars is Pluto. And this particular moon cycle, termed month within the Gregorian calendar, also has the fire sign Sagittarius, the archer or hunter, anciently and contemporarily ruled by Jupiter. And guys, we're here at the 30th, Brother Terrell Tamari Bay with the Sauce. We'll be going in on the 30th with that lunar Uranian sextile after giving his testimony briefly on the sunrise. And then we go immediately on Friday into the Gregorian calendar, a month termed December, which has the fire sign Sagittarius, the archer or hunter, anciently and contemporarily ruled by Jupiter there, and also within that moon cycle is the earth sign Capricorn, the sea goat, right? Normally depicted by a half goat, half fish, anciently and contemporarily ruled by Saturn. We're going in on here from the 1st to the 6th. It is Brother Shanalim Mel. He has, looks like 4 testimonies and 2 ingresses, right? So 3 testimonies and Mercury ingresses Capricorn, right? Actually, you know what? I see, let's see, Brother Sean. Now that I think about it, this void of course moon, right, is happening. I'm gonna say 2 hours and 53 minutes.
Oh yeah, it's definitely 2:53. Oh wow.
Exactamundo.
Look at Mercury being that trickster that he is. Acting like he was
right?
Ingress.
It's funny because I'm just recognizing that was a Mercury ingress. Right, so 2 hours and 53 minutes for that void of course moon. Brother Sean goes in on that after his 3rd testimony. And while Luna's void of course, Mercury will be ingressing Capricorn. Luna then ingresses Leo at 1100 hours or 11 o'clock anti-meridian Eastern. And then we see the lunar Martian trine that Brother Sean goes in on. And Saturday it is I, Brother Hasan Ghazi Obey, with the lunar trine Jupiter, right? The lunar Jupiterian square, lunar quartile Jupiter, then we got a trine between the sun and moon and a sextile between Mercury and Saturn for Saturday with those 3 testimonies. I have Sunday also with 3 more testimonies, and then the lunar ingress into Virgo, right? Which means obviously there is a cooking up of trine between Luna and Mercury, cooking up, and I think who's going to be going in on that is Brother Sean Linnell on the 4th, right, with those 3 testimonies. Then there's a Venusian ingress. Brother Sean's got a couple of ingresses going on there, right? He's got the Mercury ingress, right, into Capricorn, and then the Venus ingress, right, into Scorpio. Looky, Astro Cookie. Now, after those testimonies, right, Brother Sean, after he gives his last testimony on, it's funny, you go from a lunar Martian trine to a lunar Martian square, Brother Sean, in your last testimony. Brother Terrell Tamari Bay goes in on the 3rd quarter moon with those 3 testimonies there after sunrise. Got his solar lunar square, a lunar Uranian trine, and a Venusian Saturnian trine. And then finally on the 6th, the Desire Brother Hasan Ghazi Obey closing this out. See 2 lunar transits there as far as before the moon void of course for 2 hours and 44 minutes. Remember, guys, moon void of course is buyer's remorse. Alrighty, moon void of course is buyer's remorse. So this is when you don't want to make any major decisions, major transactions, and things of that nature. So remember, again, we have moon void of course on Friday for 2 hours and 53 minutes. Make sure you do not exchange any finance or make any major decisions. Then on Sunday for 1 hour and 39 minutes, we have a moon void of course, and that's post meridian Eastern. So that's from 2100 hours, 11 minutes to 2200 hours, 50 minutes. And then finally, remember the void of course moon for 2 hours and 44 minutes taking place on Wednesday. So again, this is your 7 days in advance, and we're about to go in on giving our divers testimonies in a freestyle Wednesday kind of fashion. Let me come on back here. And I guess we'll be exchanging the remote controls here and there. I guess I'll give it to you first, Brother Sean. Alrighty, let's see. Let's go and share the screen. I know Brother Jag goes first. So let's see. Get that out the way. Alrighty, so we are here. Sean, there you go, bro. All right, so you got it, bro. All righty, we yield the floor to our beloved brother, in whom we're well pleased, Brother Terrell Tamari Bay with the sauce.
Islam, people.
Islam.
All right. So, bear with me. Okay, so we're looking at the 30th of November, right? Yeah, 30th of November, 2023 Christian calendar year, 1443 Moorish calendar year. Looking at the sunrise, sun's at 8 degrees Sagittarius, 1 minute, as you can see there. Sun is in the 12th house, I guess. Yeah, so this is one, connecting to one's estate, so to speak. What is an estate? Coming to terms with terminology and connecting to wordplay and what words mean, what words do not mean, kind of doing the things, anagrams, transliterations, translations, all of those sort of things are being observed around this time with Mercury being in Sag, the Sun being in Sagittarius. Everything is being analyzed a little bit more attentively, so you can basically dot your I's and cross your T's. This is basically that energy. So really yield to uncovering what's basically covered. You know what I mean? Being open to opening your mind to a whole new reality or a whole new lifestyle, something that's foreign, Sagittarius, to your whole usual way of being, so open your mind to something unusual. And this will be very relative to the only aspect for this day, because the moon is to sextile Uranus. And Uranus is in Taurus, And Venus is in Libra. So the thing that could be highlighted is specifically relationships and who you're relating with, but it also can be how you relate with oneself. You know what I mean? So if we can go to that first aspect with the moon, sextile, and Uranus.
Open your mind, Craig. See, I know you ain't never did no higher learning before.
Literally. And that's not just higher learning isn't just based in being in some sort of university. You can literally study in your own home, the moon in Cancer, and really get the message across with diligent studies. Really challenging yourself to the subject matter. So what we got Uranus in the 12th. Uranus is in the 12th house. The moon is in the 2nd house. Huh. Yeah, so something about your family, or with Venus being in the 6th house. Look at that, Brother Sean. With Venus being in the 6th house, this could give you that reality check that you need to basically literally to take care of yourself and to take your diet more seriously. You could have a conversation with a family member or someone someone close to you that really shakes up your reality to basically not be so passive, so to speak. Moon's in the 2nd house, passive house. So now you have the courage, so to speak. Mars is in Sagittarius in the 7th, right? Yeah, in the 7th house. You will articulate and have more courage and the know-how to get the point across, get the message across. So, be open to listening to something from a different perspective, however, being able to effectively rebut whatever isn't true. So it's all about telling the truth at the end of the day, and it's really what that aspect shows, right? So be honest. And with that, I'll suggest reading a poem by Maya Angelou. It's called "Tell the Truth." So simple, so sweet. But yeah, I'll yield with that. Islam.
Wow. All right, looks like we're moving into December. High Holy Day, right? On a Friday. Would you look at that? Right. We've got the sunrise at 7:11, right? 46 seconds. Man, I had to sneeze super hard. All right, so the sun is ruling over the 9th house, all right, at 9 degrees. 2 minutes Sagittarius.
Bliss.
Ooh, thank you. I needed that. Ooh. All right, and yeah, just like Brother Jack was saying, higher learning doesn't have to be a school or a university. To really get the fruit of whatever it is that you're studying or interested into. So it's just letting oneself dive into the arts of whatever your favorite choice or profession is, whether it's poetry, painting, music, entertainment, or even just religious studies. Just allow yourself to really expand your inner world beauty by just getting creative with these different tools that are at your disposal, in order for you to experience this healing, and just have a drive that cannot be have a fiery drive that cannot be extinguished by the pessimism of others who are not involved in the arts or the higher learning or the creativity, who sometimes rather just be stuck in their own simple ideologies and really not fully embracing the world and the people. And with that, I yield. So it looks like first up we have a 4. The sunrise, we have a lunar Neptunian trine. All right. Luna's in the 10th. 24 degrees Cancer, and Neptune definitely is in that 6. All right. So this is just dealing with career and health, but this is like super early. So this is maybe some dreaming going on here. So make any note of dreams that are occurring or any thoughts that you're having when it comes to your health and your career. And this is at 24 degrees, which is a Piscean degree. So, yeah, just allow yourselves to really hone in and make the necessary changes, whether it be within your temple or even within the domus, right? As I would say, like domestic affairs, and just allow yourself to really communicate those things and create the art that is pleasurable to the masses, quote unquote, but also within your own inner home. With that, I yield. Next up, we have a lunar Venusian square. Luna's still in the 10th, and we got Venus in the 1st. All right, at 3:09 or 3:08:34 into meridian, so still super late. All right, let's see, Luna Venus, which is actually interesting here. So this is career and self. And Libra's on the rise. Again, Venus is there. So this is just beauty. So allow yourselves to see the beauty and the unseen things rather than being so caught on just material things, whether it's how you view yourself or whether, where you at currently, right? Allow yourself to embrace the present rather than being so fixated on the past or the future. Because always looking towards the future, you're going to miss out what's going on now, even if it doesn't match how you want to see things. Just see that beauty and let that frustration be the motivation to attract rather than always chase. But, finding a balance between attracting and chasing the things that you find dear to yourself and those around you. With that, I yield. All right, next we got a lunar Plutonian reflection. And this is the last aspect Luna makes before going void of course, right? So definitely Pluto's still hanging at the exaltation of Mars. Luna is at the fall of Mars. Would you look at that? All right, Pluto being at the exaltation of Mars. Luna is at the fall of Mars. So there's kind of like a push and pull here. Kind of a what do I do? What do I not do? Or do I need to make a decision? Do I not need to make a decision? All right, if we just look at Mars, being that Mars is at 5 degrees, 5 minutes Sagittarius in the 12th. So things are just becoming revealed that might have been hidden, whether it's just your own limiting beliefs or the thoughts pertaining to your mind, or even the institutions that you're putting yourself in. Allow yourself to just go with the flow rather than trying to control things. And it can be like a beautiful transformation that can occur here when you just yield to the things that are out of your control, but you're following the flow of the things of spirit, right? It's giving me kind of like One of Cups, like One of Cups and Four of Cups, because there's like opportunities for a new beginning. But sometimes, people can't really be fixated on everything that's going wrong or what could go or what's working against them rather than seeing the silver lining in the sky, as they would say. And with that, I yield the floor. All right, so Luna goes void of course for what we say 2 hours 53 minutes. So no major purchases during this time. For those coffee drinkers, make sure you just make it on. Leave the Dunkin' or whatever else alone. And yeah. Doggy hairs. All right, so now we have the Mercury egress out of Sagittarius ingressing into Capricorn, and it definitely looks like this is going down in the 12th house. So once again, this is just spirituality here. Mercury is ruling over the 6th house and tangent with the sun over the 8th house as it's intercepted, which would be the 9th whole sign. So guys, just allow yourself to really come to a foundational place in your spirituality and your breath practices. What have you learned this far? What have you studied? What have you gathered from others, from your experience and others' experiences? And now, what new plans or new foundations, beliefs, and knowledge can you have for yourself to move forward after building this foundation? Let's see. Let's look at that. Right. So yeah, there's this expansion occurring in your home life, whether that's in the unseen or there's an actual physical change. With Mercury slowing down, make sure that you are just really coming back to center with yourself and seeing the authority within yourself. And with that, I yield the floor. And now after this ingress, we have the lunar ingress. So happy lunar return to all the Leo moons out there. All right. But I'm gonna hey brother Jack, you want to take over this 6th house real quick?
I got you. No, I'm just playing. I don't got you.
Do you do or do you not? That's what I need.
I do not, man. I would, you know what I'm saying? No. You got it. You got it.
Y'all hilarious.
Alrighty. So we have a Luna ingress into Leo in the 6th. Looks like with this, it'd just be a good time for health and services. So if you have the finances to do it, go enjoy yourself, treat yourself to something nice, surround yourself with loved ones. But really, first and foremost, show some love to yourself. Do some self-love practices or treat yourself to something great. I would say nice, but that'd be foolish. So treat yourself, treat your loved ones. If you go out somewhere, make sure you tip your servers good, right? And yeah, that's really about it. Just find ways to really just be kind and loving to yourself, and share that love with others. Giving love to others is a form of service. But if one has that hate in that heart they haven't let out, how can you really show some true love when you're just going to be showing hate? So just be love to yourself and others. And with that, I yield. And for the last aspect for this high holiday, we have a lunar Martian trine. All right, so we got another 12th house in there. Wow, that's like a lot of things will be coming up, y'all. Make sure y'all paying attention to your psyche. Right, make sure this your own energy and thoughts that is coming through and not the energy and thoughts of others. All right, and so 12 and 4th house. This is once again getting creative. What are you passionate about? And just going for that and letting your light being shined in your home and around your family. Or maybe someone's really realizing that that there's a harmonious energy within themselves, but it might not be the same on the outer. So just doing some readjusting and getting back into the why of you're doing, what you're passionate about. Left that in, as long as you know why you're always doing something, why it lights your fire, right? You'll always be good. You'll always be heading in the right direction as long as one is keeping spirit and the mind rather than the flesh type things. And with that, I'm gonna step back and no look past to my bro as we go in for the Saturn day.
It's mom. So sunrise is taking place there. I was just doing a brief calculation in my head, man. I was just kind of thinking to myself that where these sunrises are taking place, soon the sun should be conjunct to 9:36, so about 9 degrees 36 minutes. So I think, yeah, you just came off of the sun being conjunct Han, right? Which I think is Eta Ophiuchi, the harbinger of trouble. And so for this, just to hear what you were saying, what to pay attention to based off of that sunrise and for that day, those particular transits and ingresses. It's really spot on. Let's see, 39, 09, 08, so about 10:08. So here the sun is conjunct Antares, just maybe within 6 minutes or so, right? So for this sunrise with the sun conjunct Antares, right, which is known as Alpha Scorpii, right, the brightest star in the constellation Scorpio. It's been called Mars's deputy, right? It's the Scorpion's heart, the watcher of the West, which is one of the royal stars, one of the four royal stars, or one of the four royal fixed stars, as they're called. It shows a fluted spectrum, is what it's saying, in Encyclopedia of Astrology, to say how you'll be able to identify it in the sky, right, where the reds predominate. However, it has a Martian Jupiterian type of nature, malevolent, destructive, generous, subject to presentments of impending tragedy, rash, impulses, headstrong, obstinacy, chiefly injuring themselves. But if this part is, if it's rising or culminating, preferment, good fortune. So this is rising. The sun and Antares are rising. So this day can be looked at as, honor, preferment, and good fortune for the 2nd December 2023 for the sun rising here in Sagittarius at 10 degrees 2 minutes, which means it's applying still, which means moving towards Antares while Antares is rising. So very fortunate kind of energy there, especially coming off of that energy of harbinger of trouble and homicide, because 9 degrees is homicide also for Sagittarius. However, what we're actually seeing overall, right, is that if there was something that was a little off on the first, or, you had to really kind of get your mind wrapped around it to make sure you're clear on what it is that you're seeing and or thinking. On the second is when, there'll definitely be, the outcome that you're looking for, right? I will definitely say that is on the rise. However, just make sure you're being protective, right, of yourself and your loved ones and belonging. All right. The sun, while, doing this solar ascendant conjunction, however, also conjunct with Antares, I would say was also rising too is, a means to, deal with property losses, accidents, or maybe you'll come across something dealing with criminal tendencies. Maybe you're just watching a show or something. However, because the sun, after being here, will eventually, as the day continues, will conjunct Rastaban, which is the second brightest star in the constellation Draco, right? So Beta Draconis. And just looking at that whole Martian energy starting out, with that, and then Jupiter and Saturn. So it just kind of lets me know for this sunrise in particular, we can really find a means to find a fortunate way of recalling some things, really even taking advantage of the fact that Mercury's within this retrograde shadow as of 25th November 2023, right? So this is where we can allow ourselves to expand on our recollections, that which we can recall, while also making sure that what we're doing is not only teaching ourselves and learning from ourselves, but setting an example in order to really beautify that which people probably always think, or people have always been taught or learned to think. However, this is in a means for this sunrise, just collectively saying to just be able to kind of have a little bit of clarity within yourself, and may have a means, if not to explain it to someone else, be able to actually act upon it based on your comprehension of whatever unvelation you get pertaining to this day. And with that, I yield the floor. All right, so we're going to move on to the lunar Jupiterian squares. It's actually happening before sunrise, about 44 minutes after 0-100 hours, 0-100 hours, 44 minutes, 5 seconds, or 44 minutes and 5 seconds after midnight Eastern. All right. So with what we're actually seeing here, Luna's there in 11th in Leo, while Jupiter's there in the 8th in Taurus, right? 6 degrees, 59 minutes is where they are respectfully. And yes, they are in, Placidus 11th and 8th. However, it's looking like, to me, this would be a whole sign 9th and 12th. So with the 8th over top of the 9th and the 11th over top of the 12th, what I really see here is this can be fortunate for, study and really being able to get over an obstacle, actually, and maybe stimulate some thought within one's own subconscious mind. However, you're going to probably get a little bit of inspiration from somewhere else when it comes to what you may be thinking theoretically for your studies, or you're actually reading over something and you like to actually apply it in practice, and being able to really find a means for you to be able to share it with someone as if you were sharing it with children. All right. I will definitely say that, here's an energy also where one can thoroughly express themselves, right? Can thoroughly express themselves. And in doing so, having, a means for one to really expand their own subconscious mind, in a way where their thoughts and their heart are really on the same path here. The movements that one would like to make is in alignment with what one is actually thinking. The emotion that's, can seemingly come from this could actually be joy due to a certain stick-to-itiveness and one not allowing themselves to be moved emotionally from the goal in which they intend to reach. So here you can be able to finally isolate some things for yourself, for your own subconscious thinking, and be able to not only have things be shared from yourself, but you can also share within yourself that which you are learning. It's definitely an inspired learning, so to speak, an inspired erudition. With that, I yield the floor. We have a solar lunar trine taking place still before sunrise, just 44 minutes approximately after 0600 hours, to be exact, 0600 hours, 44 minutes and 27 seconds, or 6:44:27 anti-meridian Eastern. And we clearly see that still before sunrise, sun's there in the first, right? 10 degrees, 1 minute, right? Still cooking on conjuncting Antares, right? And Luna's there at 10 degrees, 1 minute in Leo, right? And as we can clearly see, okay. So again, Placidus 8th for the moon, even though that's where Jupiter was. Placidus 8th, whole sign 9th is what I'm saying again for. And of course, sun is in Placidus and whole sign first. And I'm just looking at it as a time for people to really, allow inspiration to flow for you. You'll find yourself benefiting from it. It's even fortunate that maybe a lesson in your life that you were supposed to been, actively activating is finding what it is that will benefit you through some type of investigative study. And you'll definitely enjoy that. You'll actually see you've been holding yourself back from really being in harmony with a sense of investigative study for the benefit of you and your loved ones. And with that, I yield the floor. Mercury, Saturn, sextile. So for the Mercurial Saturnian sextile taking place just after sunrise, Be exact, 1000 hours, 26 minutes, and 58 seconds, or 10:26:58 anti-meridian Eastern. We have Mercury there in the 12th house Placidus. It's whole sign first. And Saturn is there in first house Placidus. Whole sign third. Very, very interesting. There's something that someone wants to say. You want to communicate something, you want to get it out, but you find yourself possibly biting your tongue, doing your best to make a transformation and be able to delay certain unexpected actions because you want to be well behaved. However, that communication is definitely something that you no longer want to have isolated within yourself. You need closure. So I can see here that's what the people are really dealing with, and just making sure with whatever it is that they're coming across and learning, or they're reading something. And when I say learning, I meant like physically hands-on learning, or they're reading something cognitively speaking, or even in conversation. I think here is where the asking question pertaining to what do you mean exactly? Or can you put it in, simpler terms? I think that's what we're actually seeing here with this Mercurial Saturnian sextile. And with that, I yield the floor. We're on the Sunday sunrise, taking place approximately 0700 hours and 14 minutes. To be exact, is 0700 hours, 13 minutes, and 45 seconds for the 3rd December 2023, right? 11 degrees, 3 minutes is where this sun is taking place. And now when I think about it, should be 10, 11, 50, 12, 19. Okay, really, the sun will be conjunct Rastaban when it gets to 12, 19-ish. So I think when Brother Sean goes in on Moon Day, that the sun will be conjunct Rastaban, right, or on its way to applying conjunction to Rastaban. So this is where we can be careful, be vigilant, make our affirmations and speaking against any criminal tendencies happening towards us or from us, or any property loss or accidents. But you may witness something like that, whether it's via television, some audio, consumption of some sort, possibly, or, that'll be something that'll pop up. But like I said, Brother Sean will go in on that on Moon Day. So for 11 degrees, this is the Aquarius degree. Very interesting because naturally Sagittarius and Aquarius are sextile. So see the Aquarius degree, and the sun normally is, feeling out of place, feeling out of parts, right? In Aquarius, according to its dignity is concerned, because it does better in maybe 5 degrees, allegedly. But what we can, shine the light on is really seeing that when it comes to astrology and the scholarship that comes with astrology, there's going to be a respect for astrological scholarship, and being able to even hear those terms right now, or those of you that come in, view this later, astrological scholarship is always something to take pride in. Alrighty, something to always know where you're actually, allowing your insight and intuition to draw from to give these days and times type of testimony to turn into a compiled delineation, right? So with that being said, I will say here is where we're getting a little to the psychology within oneself to be able to appreciate scholarship. And with that being said, what we're actually paying attention to is a way of getting familiar with finding a bit of joy in one being able to express themselves intellectually without feeling that the group will not share in one's joy pertaining to scholarship. So this is where you might find a joy unlike any other, and you never thought because you're not used to it. So you find this foreign joy in scholarship, and particularly astrological scholarship, because you'll find that it is the foundation to everything, just about everything, if not everything, but actually it is everything on the planet. And with that, I yield the floor. We have a Luna Uranian quartile happened about 1,300 hours after 0300. So 300 hours, 0300 hours, 12 minutes and 33 seconds to be exact. For the third, Luna's there in the Placidus 10th, looking like a whole sign 10th too, to be exact. Let me see. A whole sign 11th, pardon me. So Placidus 10th, whole sign 11th. So really, just merging, the people's standing and the values that they get from their standing, or how their peers value them, right? So the people are going into, that peer evaluation, so to speak. With that being quartile to, interestingly, Uranus there in the 8th house, Placidus. However, it is and it's also the 8th house whole sign where Uranus is. So this is where we're able to have a moment to kind of invest together, right? Or in other words, be able to express our values in something similar, right? So this is where, the people get to thoroughly express themselves for really, and it's funny because it could be an event like, a psychologist's event. And here, this is where, speeches are given for different psychologists to express their values pertaining to what they've seen in their field thus far, right? Being able to take, joy or express their joy in studying other people's valuable information, and then being able to bring that to the forefront as a means of, communicating where one feels secure within their field of psychology, right? So it could be a convention where that's taking place. I don't know. You guys let me know, right? With that, I yield the floor. We have a Venusian Plutonian quartile happening right after that. Approximately 0800 hours to be exact, 29 minutes and 4 seconds. So that's 8:29:04 anti-meridian Eastern. Venus there in the 10th house, 28 degrees Libra, 34 minutes, being quartile to Pluto, already at 28 degrees, 34 minutes, Capricorn, right? Which is the whole sign, 2nd house, but it looks like Pluto's there in the whole sign, in the Placidus 1st. So got 1 and 2. So kind of in the way of, there's something you want to is one of your possessions. You want to like upgrade it. You want to make transformations. There's maybe some things about yourself that you're seeking to transform, possibly. Maybe, you're thinking about a haircut or hair growth decision. Very possible that is the case. But again, we have Venus here in the 10th house in Libra, right? And they're partile at 28 degrees, 34 minutes to both of them. It's just that Pluto's here in Capricorn in the 1st, right? I know these 4 houses away, so it could be an underlying theme of like security, right? Home, different keywords we're familiar with, but also, maybe some things, underground, maybe finding some treasure or some valuable that you maybe put away, forgot about, or you're actually doing some light excavation and you find something under the, soil that you've dug up. And with that, you're now being able to, find a means within yourself to really communicate the joy that, you took a chance on maybe exploring in a way that you're not used to exploring before, but you wanted to do so. So this could be someone, I don't know, you invested in a metal detector and now you're on the beach and you found something, or you invested in a new set of shovels because you did some type of survey of the land and you realize that under it is something else going on, or This may be you installing a new bathroom or whatever, and then you want a septic tank system or something to be set a certain way for this particular bathroom installation. So those are all possible. With that, I yield the floor. Luna sextile Venus here at 2100 hours, right? 2100 hours, 11 minutes. And this is where it goes void of course, if I'm not mistaken. I think Luna's void of course for 1 hour and 24 minutes. Oh, hold on, let me make sure I got that right. It should be an hour and 39 minutes. Pardon me, hour 39 minutes. So Luna goes void of course after this, where Luna and Venus are sextile. They have a partile 29 degrees 11 minutes, as you can both see. Just Luna's in Leo, Venus is in Libra. Alrighty, Placid is first house, of course, and whole sign for the moon. Placid is third, and technically whole sign third for Venus. So this is where we can actually really be able to kind of spotlight some things about our thinking and our value system. Probably be able to find a balance in some positive talk to oneself. Maybe even allowing water to be something that you make a decision to consume often. Maybe there's been a fascination and denial about your health and your health values, and what you've realized by maybe you had an experience, maybe you decided to fast and detox. And with that fasting and that detox, what you realized, you was like, you know what? I think I want to add this to an everyday thing that I do. So it may be, water. All righty. It may actually be that. And what you're finding is making the blood flow a little better for you. And you're actually noticing, a bit of a change when you go to, relieve yourself and use the restroom. You're noticing a change, and it may be just because you decided to have the courage to take on some water, right? Really allow yourself to do that and continue to share what it is that you are, what your intentions are. Because very interestingly, Sun's ruling the ascendant while the ascendant's trying the Sun. So in making this, this share take place, keep a diary. I'll also say that's what I see with this also, allow yourself to have a diary. I mean, it doesn't get any more subconscious mind moon in the first house pertaining to yourself, and you communicating it some kind of way. Maybe you're writing it down in a book, Libra book. And Venus is there finishing up its transit also in Libra, as Luna's finishing up its transit in Leo. So that's what I would say for that one. Then Luna's what, of course, for 1 hour and 39 minutes. And then it ingresses at 2200 hours, 50 minutes approximately. Luna ingresses Virgo, 2200 hours, 50 minutes to be exact. All right. And with Luna doing that there as it's rising. Hey, looky, Astro Cookie. This lunar ingress has Luna rising. Muy interesante. Which means soon, and I'm sure Brother Sean's going to go in, or Brother Jag, there is a trine that's a cooking between Luna and Mercury, while Mercury is actually ruling over Luna here in the Placidus 12th. But, Placidus 12th, the Sun would be ruling. But in the whole sign, first, Moon is there just giving rise, right? I find this very interesting, and it's a nocturnal chart. All right, Moon's in highs here. So with that being said, just kind of look into Mercury for whole sign purposes. I would say that there is definitely some structural value in one really paying attention to their, their health, digestively speaking. You know what you're supposed to be eating and not eating. All right. And with that, I'm going to yield the floor to my beloved brother, in whom I'm well pleased, Brother Sean Islam.
Yes. All right, here we go. Monday. Be sure, guys, to join us Monday for Intuition Monday. I'm not sure what you're going to be joining us for. Let me check the calendar. Okay, Sagittarius new moon. All right, Sagittarius new moon is what we'll be doing for that Monday. But the sun's at now 12 degrees Sagittarius, so it's at a Piscean degree, rolling a ninth. Yeah, it's just given that the people are going to start to see and realize things that they might have shaken off at first, like astrology, right? For all those astrology haters, like astrology ain't real. But it doesn't matter that I celebrate my auntie's birthday, that my favorite food is like cabbage, that farmers grow cabbage, all those other things, but astrology ain't real. I think the people who really see things like they have dismissed as not important due to the social programming will really start to come in full effect to where they cannot deny it. Or they'll just have to continue to lie to themselves. All right, so just be a visionary during the Sagittarius season. Like hold on to your vision and be optimistic about it, regardless of what anyone else thinks. Because it's giving me that Dr. Seuss quote is what's coming to mind. Those who mind matter, and those who don't mind don't matter. Something like that in that avenue. So yeah, only align yourself with those who really care and appreciate you, and middle finger to those who don't. All right. And with that, I'm gonna yield. Let's see what we got. Luna Saturn up first. We got a lunar Saturnian reflection. Going on before the sunrise. All right, get that next one in the program. So, all right, so lunar Saturn reflection. Luna is definitely in 11th, Saturn's in the first. So we're just thinking about now service. Moon, so this is at an Aryan degree, so a lot of things that might have affected how we really accepted responsibility for our actions or leadership positions, or really just being kind of like the natural go-getter. We reflect on these things that are just hindering us when it comes to the creative projects or even within the groups. So there's just some soul nurturing that's being taken care of by really having to learn some discipline and hard work. And embracing things that make you fearful. So now we're pondering on this reflection of that, right? And the luminaries aren't that neutral. So just allow yourself to really see and feel things out, and really keep what needs to be kept and release what needs to be released, pretty much. And with that, I will yield the floor. Looks like we got a lunar Mercurian trine next. All right. Luna's definitely in that 10th. Mercury is in the 2nd. All right, this is at 3 degrees, Virgo and Capricorn. And the 10th and the 3rd. So once again, this is back to career or those who are in quote unquote governmental positions. All right. Heavy on the air quotes. That's 3 Virgo. Ooh, critical degree, right? So things are critical here about health. So maybe we will see a change in the health institutions here. Maybe some kind of communication, or maybe even, I don't know why, like a whistleblower of some sort. Maybe someone's just going to oust and speak on kind of the healthcare practices and those who are over it. And also pertaining to the finances of it, like the funding, the funding and all those matters. So guys, just allow yourself to work with this energy, really better your health. Maybe someone's boss is going to take kind of like a sick leave or a health leave because they need to get things together, and make sure that you attend to those things as soon as they come up. Mars is chart ruler. Mars is in the 1st. So knowing when to push forward and when to yield. And with that, I yield the floor. All right, looks like we got a lunar Jupiterian trine next. All right. Whew. All right. Luna's in a 6. I'll take that. Jupiter's in the second house. All righty. This is at 6 Virgo and 6 Taurus.
Whole sign 7. Let me stop.
All right. So Jupiter's at the degree of many enemies, as they would say. But, I think for the most part, with Jupiter being retrograde, moon's in a 6, you need to really see that sometimes we could be our own worst enemy. But for those who don't take accountability, they will blame it on everybody else but themselves. So, guys, just allow this expansion and to occur to really come furthermore grounded within yourself. If you're somewhere where it's warm, go out and ground. If it's warm, let's see what time this is. 12:32. If the sun's out and it's warm, make sure you plant your feet in the ground. Do some kind of practice to really bring yourself back into nature, back within yourself. Do yourself some service and come back to yourself. And with that, I yield the floor. All right, now it looks like the Venusian ingress into Scorpio. And I don't know why that song was coming up for me, but oh no. Hey, bro, come on, man. Just hit next again. Hit next again. Let me delineate for 2024.
Whole sign 8.
All right, so yeah, whole sign 8. You feel me? We ain't looking at the Placidus, even though it says 7. We thinking whole sign, right? And it makes it even more funny because the song I'm about to say with Venus ingressing to the 7th. All right, y'all ready? do 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 do. All right, Venus aggressive to Scorpio. I wanna get next to you, and it's in the 7th. It's like, hey girl, or hey boy. I know Venus is feeling a little detrimented right now, but but it's now second from where it's home. So I just want you to know that I know we see each other's worth.
You're hilarious.
Let's do this soul contract, baby. We was always meant to be together. But anyways,
real.
Being aggressive to Scorpio, guys, this is just allow yourselves to dive deeper into the material. To the metaphysical, esoteric type ordeals. Just letting yourself really just see the beauty and facing your fears, like getting comfortable with facing your fears and loving that. It's like, hey, man, I was scared to do that, but I did it. Now I'm living off of this rush of just of embracing things I was scared of, like finding the beauty in it rather than being fearful. Venus is rolling over the 2nd and the 7th. All right, so and this is now coming off that mutual reception by exaltation with Saturn. Now she's at a detriment, so it's just moving forward. That's all I can really say. Is just moving forward. I think the people will get a kick out of actually rereading over contracts, breaking it down, and even just for the new contracts and their old contracts, and really actually going to investigate those things that they hear talked about on the internet and doing their own research. And do it with your partner if you have one. Let both of y'all actually read things together and really see that beauty in relating to things that are mysterious to yourself. And Mars, 2 houses away in Sagittarius, ruling over that, you're really going to feel the drive to bring the beauty into your lives. And for those who took an oath, right, to make sure they have this position to delegate for the benefit of the people, you're really seeing it's like, wow, I can really see how I was allowing myself to be a slave rather than being the free man, free woman. I don't want to say king or queen, but for those that have to hear that, the king or queen of my life. Yeah. Like there's always levels to it, but you have to really just be open to seeing that. And it might, it might strike a nerve within you. You might get a little emotional riled up, because you're gonna find out that you've been duped, as they would say. But there's really still that beauty into coming out and repenting for being without true and proper knowledge of yourself and everything around you. And with that, I yield for the Venusian ingress. And it looks like finally we got Luna square Mars, right? So I did that. Firstly, I did the trine. Now it's a square, so it's from harmony. Now it's some stimulation or some kind of obstacle. It's like, all right, now the pendulum has swung the other way. Now, how can you keep that harmonic energy from previously and take this quote unquote stressful or whatever kind of energy that you feel like is working against you and make it work for your higher good? Moon's in the 6th. Mars in the 8th. This is 3 houses. So yeah, this is just kind of like a mental thing here. Like really saying it's all mental rather than physical. It was just depending on how you choose to think about it and feel about it and go about it. It's your own sight, it's kind of like that game or whatever we used to do while we were younger, right? You take your little cousin hand, you start making them hit themselves. Like, why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? And you really see like you've been smacking yourself in your mind, but you blame it on everyone else. So, this is coming out of the mental kind of chess box or shadow boxing with yourself and just working with the harmonies of your mind. And look at that, Chiron's on the ascendant. So yeah, there's a lot of painful things you might realize about yourself, but will you move forward or will you just stay anchored and a victim mindset? And with that, I step back. Who's up? Oh, next, Jag, bro. What you want? Between the legs, behind the back, bro.
Give me a a bounce pass real quick. Just give me a bounce pass so I can hit the
I got you. I'm gonna do the bounce pass off the big screen, like how they did in live 2005. Right, you bounced off the big screen of dunk competition. There you go.
It's so funny. I was hooping the other day, and the homie literally did something from NBA Live 2005, and I said that. That's so funny you say that. That's crazy. I literally said that. I said he did a move from NBA Live 05. Literally, verbatim the word. That's crazy. We going back to being Jason Kidd and Vince Carter again. That's just gonna be the road.
Islam.
All right, so we got the sun. Oh, no. Let me slow down. This is the 5th of December, right? 2023, Christian calendar year. 1443 Moorish calendar year, right? We're looking at the sun. The sun's at 13 degrees Sagittarius, 5 minutes. Just do it here. Straight neck. 13 degrees Sagittarius, 5 minutes, right? So yeah, this is the sense of leadership now. Everyone's coming to terms of how they are indeed. What do they say? What is it? You are made in the image of God, right? So now this is that you can see that now, and it's not just a sense of it's not just a fairy tale, right? It's seeing how all of these how that specific quote. What is it? You are made in the image of God. That saying is said in multiple languages, dialects. It's not just said in English, right? So recognizing that this isn't just that this reality or that consciousness is universal. It's not confined to just one school of thought who said it's just confined to them. You know what I mean? This is that realization here with this sun transiting Sagittarius on the 13th degree, right? And Jupiter still being in Taurus. Is this wisdom or the knowledge has to be solidified. It has to be something that's sustainable, something that you can touch. So as much as it is, like I just said, you're made in the image of God, right? That saying isn't just a saying now. If that, that you can now articulate it and now it makes sense. It's not something that's, oh yeah, they just said I was God, so now I'm God. No, it's not being misused. The information or the knowledge is being utilized properly, right? Ooh. I just thought of a quote, but I don't want to butcher it. So we'll move on. The first aspect for this day of the moon is to square the sun. So this is interesting. Moon's in Virgo, in the 12th house there, 12 degrees, Virgo, 49 minutes, and the sun is in the 3rd house. And this is happening before sunrise, as you see, right? Sun's in the 3rd house, 49 minutes after midnight. So it would be a good time to go outside and do some stargazing. I don't really care if it's cold outside. You can bundle up and get warm. But if it's warm near you, of course, take advantage of that. But if it's not so warm, I don't want to hear it. And bundle up and go stargaze. Because this will just be, it'll be liberating to, see the Earth supposedly rotate on its axis, so to speak, and just watching the stars and the constellations move. Jupiter, you could see Jupiter at this time setting, so to speak, pertaining to where you are, of course, but we're assuming you're near the north. But yeah, this will be liberating in the sense that it'll be uncomfortable because there'll be something that'll be communicated. Sun's in the 3rd house. It'll be very uncanny because Mercury, look at Mercury. Mercury's in Capricorn. Saturn and Mercury are actually friends, so that's pretty cool. However, the stubbornness of someone not being open to the wisdom that they actually need to, let's just say, solidify who they are or connect to their consanguinity, right? This is just that, the sun, Jupiter is ruling the 4th house. So this is really the moment to connect to something outside of your usual thinking. You know what I mean? Because Mercury, the way you process something, or the way you learn something in times past versus how you may be learning something now, it could be a whole refreshment, and you may be seeing things differently than how you saw them before. So it'll be best to just yield and not to think before you speak when you are in that uncomfortable situation. Let's just say if it's an elder or you're someone who you claim to look up to or an authority figure, just really listen and be able to articulate how you feel without feeling bad about how you communicated it, because you were being sincere. It's going back to the tell the truth thing with Maya Angelou. But yeah, moving on to the next aspect, we got the moon trine Uranus. Yeah, so now moon still being under the rulership of Mercury. The moon is in the 5th house now, and Uranus is in the 12th. It's interesting. Huh. Yeah, so this is the like childhood memories, going back to childhood. Nostalgia may be the theme for this day, for the 5th of December. It'll be very some nostalgic memories taking you back to times past that you may have sort of swept under the rug. You see Mercury in the 8th, something you may have looked to hide from or get away from, but it always follows you. This is pretty much that energy, and then now it's like you just embrace it now rather than running from it. This is pretty much that Mercury in the 8th. It's like someone from Maya Angelou, example, back to her again. Mercury in the 8th, she's a writer. Something that could be written, something that was written from someone who has passed on could basically be something that you need to read or come across to help you connect to the metaphysical, like Brother Sean was talking about. You see Venus is now in Scorpio, so now there's a desire or an urge to connect to the unknown or the things that people are scared to do, like Mercury. Venus in Scorpio makes me think of Bob Marley, because he said his band, someone who had control of, or who was a guide pertaining to their band, they made them perform in the cemetery so they wouldn't have stage fright. Right? That's kind of that vibe with Venus and Scorpio. And then, like I said, Moon trining Uranus. You're connecting to something that's hidden within you, but you may be afraid of it. It's like being afraid of your power, or something that you are capable of doing. So now, this is the chance to face your fear, pretty much. So now Venus is to trine Saturn, right? So then the wisdom from times past, of course, again, the stuff that has been solidified from the guru. Look at that. It's crazy. Saturn's in the ninth house. It's amazing, man. So amazing. So yeah, the literal gurus, the actual teachers from times past, you now can connect to what has been done and why they have done it. Venus is in the fifth. It's literally what is it? Go back to that ancient mindset. Go back to that mindset of your ancient foremothers and forefathers. And like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? Like somebody says, like, I don't know I don't even know my ancient. But when you connect to that deeper than just the saying, like what you go into the actual words of what was actually being said, from ancient to fore to mother and so on and so forth. You're breaking these words down to really get a connection to what's being said, right? So being able to separate the wheat from the chaff is basically this the point of this. Saturn in Pisces trines Venus in Scorpio. This is you solidifying and connecting to your vast estate. And what is that? That's the question. And now you can figure it out with the question. What is a vast estate? And now it will be bestowed upon you when you ask the question. Because I asked it. I asked it. Now you have to ask it. You know what I mean? That's how it works. So here is your graduation moment. Literally. Just walk the stage. And don't be afraid to walk the stage and show your abilities. Yep. Islam, I yield.
Islam. So now, sunrise for the 6th, guys, taking place 0700 hours, 16 minutes, and 33 seconds for the 6th, December 2023, right? 14 degrees, 6 minutes is where the sun is rising in Sagittarius. All right. Interestingly, 14 degrees Sagittarius is considered dumbness, indecision. Very interesting, especially with Mercury within its retrograde shadow. As I said, since the 25th November 2023 at approximately 0700 hours, 42 minutes and 17 seconds ingress its retrograde shadow. However, this is probably where we want to just take the time, sit, meditate, really contemplate. Things may be unclear. Not only that, we don't want to get into having some fascination with something that we're learning, but we're going to have to like eventually possibly just reject it or deny it, or we may come to a sense of that, because really what we're supposed to do in this moment in time now is kind of really just see the value and reflecting on that which we're reading. It's you may have to read it 3 or 4 times to get through it the first time, so that you can actually go over it quite a few times in order to develop your own comprehension pertaining to it. And with that, I yield the floor. Islam. So before sunrise, we have a lunar Neptunian reflection that's taking place, right? the lunar Neptunian reflection is taking place before sunrise, and it's happening at 0100 hours, 16 minutes, and 33 seconds, right? Luna's there in the 12th house, of course, and in the 6th house, we see Neptune. This is after moonrise. This is definitely a nocturnal chart, so Luna's doing great in highs, right? Placidus 12th and whole sign 12th for the moon. And for Neptune, it is both Placidus and whole sign 6th. So here I just really see that, we can, find a way of being nurturingly hospitable. This may be where, if you're someone who provides a particular service, this is where you can actually kind of show the structure pertaining to, the procedure in which you conduct yourself in your daily routine, or when it comes to what type of craft or product or service you provide, being able to give rise to an experience that's unexpected, that people did not expect, but they will be able to isolate and pinpoint the different highlights pertaining to that which you have provided them, thus giving a review. To be particularly honest with you, of some sort, Mercury there in the whole sign 4th, as well as Placidus 4th, right? Mercury ruling over the moon, and Jupiter ruling over Neptune. Neptune's kind of ruling over itself in, modern astrology. However, if we look to, Mercury and Jupiter here, and seeing how they're looking, there's a trine applying between those two also. So we can definitely see that we can get people to give recommendations, provided you provide them a service and a product that they, enjoyed the experience in obtaining. And with that, I yield the floor. We have Luna trine Pluto. This is the last aspect that Luna makes before going void, of course, for about 2 hours and 44 minutes, where Luna will be going void, of course. So remember, make no major transactions for those 2 hours and 44 minutes. After this aspect here, where Luna's there in the Placidus 9th and whole sign 9th at 28 degrees, Virgo 38 minutes. Pluto's there in the first, 28 degrees. Capricorn 38 minutes while in the first. Saturn's ruling the ascendant while in Pisces there. So Saturn is really structuring how to share some spiritual ideals, and the self, and probably the values, so the Saturnian values of discipline is something that can really be contemplated, communicated, to be able to allow one to transform themselves, further be able to find a way of housing within themselves a detailed means, so to speak, in really securing their own subconscious mind and being comfortable with what it is that they're learning, and finding that fortune, regardless of what anyone else may think, regardless of anyone else's opinion or viewpoint, because 9th is 11th to the 11th. And so that could be, what's being shared by the group. And so to have your subconscious mind not clouded by the details of what's being shared by the group, but being able to find your own balance in valuing what it is that you find fortunately valuable for yourself, you will be able to foster that particular sudden change in confidence by really, allowing that transformation to take place within yourself, so that you can, have a better sense of security. And with that, I yield the floor. After 2 hours and 44 minutes of being void, of course, Luna ingresses Libra. It's taking place in the 7th house, right? And the sun is ruling over Luna's ingress there, while Jupiter is ruling over the sun. Then Mars is ruling over Jupiter, and now we're back to whole sign Jupiter, but Mars will be ruling over itself. So, kind of looking at the final dispositorship, if we look at this Placidus chart for Mars, what I'm seeing here is a means for ones to really just kind of analyze the interaction. All right, really analyze the interaction between people and find what makes there be a particular balance when people are expressing themselves to one another, so that there will be a means to mitigate any denial. If someone has any type of denial or rejection of someone, what will be able to take place within that correspondence is a bit of immediate kind of like closure, so to speak, to really know like, oh, okay, I see that when comprehending other people's values and things of that nature, what one can be able to really do is find a means to mitigate maybe the miscommunication that's taking place or the miscomprehension pertaining to someone's character. And here the people will be able to be fortunate enough to find a kind of a internal troubleshooting mechanism within inside themselves to be able to mitigate anything that hinders the conversation collectively that's taking place. All right, in order to reach a well-balanced and just outcome pertaining to whatever the conversation is about. And finally, guys, Luna squaring Mercury, and then we'll yield. So the lunar mercurial quartile taking place about 2,300 hours, to be exact, 2,200 hours, 59 minutes and 53 seconds. Luna's there in the Placidus second and whole sign second, while Mercury, all right, is there in the Placidus fourth, yet whole sign fifth. I really find a way in sharing that which you want to share with children, right? I get it, you want to share it, so there's no problem in basically communicating a nurturing and communicating in a nurturing way to be able to teach that what you would like for the youth to comprehend, to also learn, so that they will have a means to, kind of find a way of getting over, second guessing themselves when learning any kind of subject that's being taught to them. And with that, I yield the floor, guys. Thank you for joining. Brother Terrell Tamari and Brother Sean Lee Mel. All right. We thank y'all oh so much. And what we're going to actually do here is just, let you guys know, go to 7hillstar.com, sign up for our email list, share with your loved ones, support us, guys, send you donations, right? We're able to do this based on you guys' donations. Alrighty, will allow us to actually do more. So we would enjoy for you to increase your faithfulness pertaining to, our divine Moorish movement. And within that divine Moorish divine national movement, we have 7 Hill Star. So make your contributions, guys. Make sure you donate. Our cash apps are in the description, alrighty, so that you'll be able to assist us. Y'all are hilarious. Show your face. It's hilarious, right?
Leave me alone.
So with that being said, no. We can see Brother Jack. We can see Brother Jack smiling. See, you can see his smile, man. Right?
Sunset. It's over with.
The sunset is over with.
It's done for.
Y'all hilarious. So with that being said, guys, I'd like to thank you all for joining us. Make sure you check us out Friday, Impromptu Improv, and Saturday. Make sure you come for the astrology concept corrections discussion, guys. You will not be disappointed. Really get familiar with us. Go and check. I mean, I know after a while it's like we're repeating ourselves or whatever, but we're doing what we do to be able to make sure you guys bring your minds and be ready to exchange your energy for what it is that we give when we share these things. And it's all in lieu of, and it's actually all in assisting Prophet Noble Drew Ali in his mission to help him to bring his people back into the constitutional fold of government. All right, so that's what it is that we're doing. Any last questions, comments, and or suggestions? Going once,
Read Maya Angelou.
Islam. Read Maya Angelou. Tell the truth is what you suggested earlier, correct?
Yes.
Islam. Questions, comments, and/or suggestions going Twizzite. Let's see. But Derek Blash Bay says, peaceful greetings, everyone. Indeed, peaceful greetings. Official Zemo, RPS. What it do? Son Zewski says Islam.
Islam Moors.
Dripped out son.
Indeed. Mother Sahar says, peaceful greetings to all. Brother Devon Bay says, Islam, peace, supreme, more, loose to all. Indeed, says that twice. Mother Sahar says, isn't that song by Rolls Royce? Rose Royce. Indeed.
What song?
Talking about, I think it was talking about I Want to Get Next to You. Right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that? Is that her?
Instead of I wanna relate with you. Right,
Wow.
I don't know nothing about it, dude. Chill out.
I don't know nothing about it. What you mean?
You don't know nothing about it, man.
Oh man, hey man, I ain't T.I., man. You can't ask me what I know about that because I know all about that.
Y'all hilarious, man. So with that being said, I am ready to get some victuals, and I like again on behalf of Seven Hill Star, like to thank my bros on behalf of Seven Hill Star. Hi, brother Hasan Ghazio Bay, brother Terrell Tamari Bay, brother Corey Bay, brother Charlene L, of course, brother Armula Bay. We say to y'all, we love you all. Join us next day if you're a part of Lawful Living. We'll see you guys next day. We'll have some fun going over some PMAP concepts. So with that, make sure you go in. Huh?
Man, nah, to the dogs. He trying to get on the couch.
I thought you were saying no to the people. I'm like, you silly, yo.
Questions, comments, and or suggestions going thrice. All right. When you go to rest and recharge well, especially after ye have eaten well. Also, with that being said, guys, we look forward to ye contributions, guys. We call it forth and we affirm, and we thank you in advance for sending ye contributions via Cash App, or if you want Zelle or Apple Pay.
And get your readings done. Get your readings done. It's about that time. It's about that time.
That's why we told y'all go to Seven Hill Star. Yes, but Brother Jag is absolutely correct, guys. Schedule that for shizzle.
Right? Do that for yourself.
Correct. And to see us 4 days, for us to present, whichever ones present, it takes your contributions. We're like, national public television here. Anyway, with that being said, guys, we love you all. Thank you all so much. Let me say to y'all, namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, 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 y'all. Peace and love.
Be yourself, people.
And donate.